We move on to details on the Delhi blast, the 10/11 Delhi blast. 4 doctors at the core of the terror module behind the blast were employed at Al Falah University without obtaining the mandatory interstate medical clearance. That's the update we have for our viewers. NDTV has learned that the doctors Umar Un Nabi, Muzammil Sheikh, Shaheen Shaheed and Muzaffar Ahmed, those 4 doctors joined the university's medical and teaching departments despite lacking the NOC, which is the no objection certificate required when a teacher shifts from one state to another. Tanushka Datta joining me live on this. Tanushka, a huge lapse there that has now come to light.
Precisely, yes. This does bring about major questions with respect to not just the university, Al Falah University, but also the medical councils as well, that how was it so that something that is mandated by the National Medical Commission was, lapsed after, was not looked into in case of these 4 doctors. The 4 doctors that are at the core of the terror module and were operating and teaching right here at the Al Falah University, as well as, working as doctors at the hospital here as well, were doing so without obtaining any no objection certificate. Now this NOC is required when you're shifting from one state to the other in terms of your practice. So they were essentially Dr. Umar Un Nabi, Dr. Muzammil, Dr. Muzaffar and Dr. Shaheen. All of them were essentially posted at Jammu and Kashmir. Dr. Shaheen was of course in Kanpur and in Lucknow. Thereafter, the transfer of these 4 doctors from their respective state medical councils to this state medical council requires a no objection certificate, which none of them had, and they all bypassed the system and got into not just teaching but also looking at patients, treating patients also right here at the Al Falah University and hospital.
Okay, thanks for joining us live there, Tanushka. Those details extremely critical at this point while the investigations are on. Now, intelligence sources have told NDTV that at least 10 people, including 3 Kashmiris who worked or studied at the Al Falah University in Haryana's Faridabad, are missing. According to sources, more than 200 doctors and staff members of Al Falah University have come under intense scrutiny after the car bomb blast outside the Red Fort. Intelligence inputs say that the missing people may be part of the terror doctor module, that white-collar ecosystem that we've been talking about, that had that I-20 with ammonium nitrate fuel oil that detonated outside the Red Fort. Who was part of the plan is the big question, along with the people that we have already spoken about. Now, in the Delhi blast probe, it turns out that Dr. Umar Nabi, the terrorist who carried out the 10th November Delhi blast, was not the first terrorist associated with Al Falah University. Mirza Shadab Beg, the terrorist involved in the 2008 Ahmedabad bombings, was also a student at Al Falah University. Important to understand that Beg was actively planning the blast while pursuing his education at the university in the year 2007. Not just Ahmedabad, Beg is also, or rather has also been instrumental in the Jaipur as well as Gorakhpur bombings. Beg is said to be a part of the Indian Mujahideen and was last traced in Afghanistan in 2019, after which he could not be traced. Now let's just tell you more about Umar. People at the GMC Anantnag who had seen Nabi work said he would often identify women patients who he was calling problematic and would confront them over not wearing the hijab. Now, as per reports, we're going to bring you some of the shady acts of this man. He was described as a highly radicalized person while he was at GMC. Reports suggest that Umar would often question his patients on Namaz as well as hijab. His patients have described him as a highly radicalized individual who wished to establish Islamic dominance over other faiths. He desired to promote this Islamic dominance as well. During his time in class, he reportedly advocated for segregation of boys and girls, citing Islamic principles. Also, some patients reportedly complained about his approach, and after a number of complaints, his services were finally terminated from GMC Anantnag, after which he went on to serve as an assistant professor at Al Falah University. Those are the details we have on Umar for you. A lot of people had complained about him, because of which you now see the details that have emerged that he was shunted out of GMC, after which he took to Al Falah University as someone who was working there.